Hello, my name is Andrea, and this is Starlight Stories for Magical Children. Here you will find a collection of stories that were told to me from storytellers from magical realms, the animal kingdom, and nature. I am delighted to share these stories with you, and maybe as you listen, you'll find that life really is magical, and so are you. Bo the young buck, formerly known as the Fawn, is back with part 2 of a 4-part story series. He is here to share of his adventures with the fairy that all lead up to the summer solstice. So if you haven't listened to the story right before this one, I recommend that you go back and give it a listen. So let's begin. Okay, let me guess. He looked over at Thea. Time to go find the glowing crystal? You've got it, Thea replied. Time to go to the pond? You know where the crystal is? Oh yes, said Thea. This will be the easiest one to find. The challenge will be to convince the Frog King to let you have it, Thea grinned. How will I do that? Bo asked. I trust that you'll figure it out, Thea said. Come on, let's go. Thea headed into the darkness, with Bo following behind. The only light available to them was the glow of Thea herself. This was part of her fairy magic. What Bo found the most curious is much of the fairy realm looked like the human realm. It almost seemed like he could be walking in his own forest. But the way it felt was much different and hard to describe. We're just about there, Thea said. Oh, this really isn't far, is it? First, I want to know about this Frog King, Bo said. What can you tell me? Thea replied, Well, it just so happened this frog found his way into the fairy realm on a summer solstice many years ago. It was quite by accident. He just happened to hop into a fairy ring just as the last rays of light shone upon it. And that's how we ended up here. We told him that he would just need to wait a year to return to his own pond, but once he found out he was the only frog, he immediately crowned himself Frog King and has been ruling one of our little ponds ever since. Bo chuckled. Okay, so how do you think we can get the glowing crystal out of the pond? That's what I'm hoping you can help me with, Thea said. I've tried to talk with him before, reminding him that the crystal and the pond don't really belong to him, that he's in the fairy realm, but he doesn't believe me. He's quite convinced that the pond and all that's in it belong to him. How much time do I have to convince him to give me the crystal? Bo asked. Thea answered, We will have 3 minutes. 2 minutes after we arrive, the crystal will start to glow. Bo went silent, wondering to himself, how do you get a king to give you something he thinks he owns? I've got it, Bo said. Good, replied Thea, because we're here. In the soft glow of Thea's light, Bo could see the Frog King, sitting quite royally on his frog throne, a flowering lily pad. Who approaches my throne? The Frog King called out. It is I, Thea, and my companion Bo, a young buck, Thea called back. You may come closer, the Frog King said with a hint of curiosity in his voice. Once Bo walked as close as he could to the pond without stepping in. He stopped. Thea was right beside him. What brings you to my pond this late at night? The Frog King asked. Are you here for that glowing crystal again? I've told you, it belongs to me. Thea gently nudged Bo. Yes, Frog King, with all due respect, I have come to inquire about the glowing crystal. But first, Is it true? Am I actually speaking to the Frog King? Is it really you?" "Yes," the Frog King replied. "The only Frog King here." "Oh, my kin, for you also came here from the human realm. That is where I am from. It is so nice to meet another creature who is connected to my place of home. For even though I arrived here just today," the Frog King interrupted. "Just today? That's impossible. It's not the summer solstice." "No, my king, but haven't you heard? The barrier between the realms is disappearing. It's faded enough to allow me to cross over to the fairy realm, but I still needed guidance from Thea. But soon, the barrier will be completely gone. And then, all sorts of animals will be able to find their way here. And who knows, maybe even some of your own kind will find you in this pond." The Frog King began to look uncomfortable. It was clear that this was something he did not want. He quite preferred being the only frog in the fairy realm. The thought of the other frogs joining him in his pond was not a pleasant thought to him. Bo was hoping for this reaction and said, "But unless, of course, we can strengthen the barrier again. But for that, we would need that glowing crystal at the bottom of your pond." And with those words, the crystal began to glow. Without a moment of hesitation, the Frog King leapt into the pond, swam to the bottom, grabbed the glowing crystal, and returned to the surface. "I suppose you may have this crystal," he said, "for the good of the fairy realm." "Thank you, merciful Frog King. Stories will be told of your generosity and kindness." Fine, the frog mumbled. "Now, leave me in peace." Thea put the glowing crystal, which had now stopped glowing, into a pouch tied around Bo's neck. And quietly, with great satisfaction, the two headed back to the fairy village together, just completing their first adventure. To be continued.